May 2020, and we're still in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. I would like to talk about this with Mr. Soh, Executive Manager of Bangi Golf Resort and Bangi Resort Hotel. Thanks for joining. And first question, how can you be a good leader for your staff through this crisis, Mr. Soh?
Well, to be very honest, there is no way to be a good leader because nothing is optimistic during this period. The only thing you can do is people are seeking for clear directions. Communicating with your staff on certain decisions, on certain viewpoint has to be complete. You can't give half story. So things has to be developed well. People expect to be informed. People expect clear directions. People expect to know what's in for the company, what is to be expected, and how are they going to fit into this entire crisis to make things better. So I think as far as I'm concerned, I have been, communicating well with our people, letting them know exactly what's happening to the company. There's no point to hide anything. I mean, like for example, when we tell our staff that there's no income coming into the organization, people actually understand it. And the next thing that people ask is, all right, understandable, what can we do about it? What can we do to contribute to make things better? What can we do to prepare so that, once we are ready to open for business, we are there. So people expect directions. People want to know what they can do to help. So that, for me, I've been very lucky. All the people around me has been very proactive. They're giving new ideas. They're working hard. They're coming out with new ways of doing things that, obviously there's no reference how to do things because this is, of course, unprecedented. At the end of the day, what is very clear is that people want to help. And so clear direction have to be given, support have to be given so that, they actually believe that they are part of this crisis to make things better once the opportunity is given.
Okay. Now, you said they are very uncertain times and clear directions have to be given, but also unattractive decisions have to be made. What was the hardest decision you had to take?
Well, one of the hardest decisions that we have to take is, especially for the hotel, we have to lay off some of our people, okay? And like I said, there is no good way to do it because people are losing their jobs and, it's of course hard. So what we have done is we have been very transparent and clear what we want to do, which part of the operation we want to scale down, which part of the operation do we want to be more efficient and productive. And even it comes to equal roles, equal opportunity, we actually took trouble to set up tests to test the competency of people to see how can they contribute to the recovery phase when we are allowed to do that or when we are in that position. So that was the most difficult thing that we have to do in recent days. And people who had to be let off, we are trying to do it as compassionate as we can. We communicated professionally to them, telling them that, the reason why we are doing things versus just telling everyone you don't have a job anymore. Informing them what their compensation packages is, and certain compensation packages that is being extended are not required by law, but we do it just so that we help people tie through. I would like to say that we want to help them to find a job somewhere else, but it's tough because all hotels are going through the same
can you rely on them to come back once the crisis is over?
Yes. So some of them actually ask, do they actually can maybe ask to come back when the crisis is over? We say, come back during that period, and for sure we will give you a good we will judge you based on your merits and also your past good records. So having said that, it's not easy. However, we are not letting off people for the sake of letting go people. We are also restructuring and almost changing the role of people who are staying back. So it's not just this guy is gone, now you have to take the role of two guys. No, we have reinvented the whole process so that that person that has left is now still doing a single job, but with greater productivity.
How did you manage that?
Oh, well, we threw out our existing standard operating procedure for the last 20 years and we rewrote a new one.
And you have already implemented it?
Yes. So now we have actually finalized it. We're just waiting to be able to start operating full scale so that we will be able to do a hands-on training for everybody, because up to now, because we have to operate with minimal people in the hotel and resort. So we are actually getting selective people to explain to them, but they don't have the opportunity to test it out hands-on.
Okay.
So once they're able to do it, yeah.
Once all guests are allowed back to the hotel, the full range is done, all your staff is back at the hotel, you can move on faster, you can work faster and more efficiently, right? Yeah. Let's imagine for a minute, we're in May 2022. If I asked you the following question, what would be your answer? Okay. How did you experience the COVID-19 pandemic 2 years ago, Mr. Soh?
Okay, well, I think that May 2022, if I look back in retrospect, I would say that the way that we lead our life is no longer the same. 2020, with the COVID pandemic, allow us to really scrutinize our operation and ask ourselves, whatever we are doing, is it still in line with the environment? Did we manage to find new opportunities that we are able to venture into, which we probably won't force ourselves to imagine if it wasn't because of the COVID pandemic? And I would hope in 2022, my answer to all those statements would be yes. I'm glad we survived it. I'm glad we did well. And I'm glad we actually looked at our operation differently, which allow us to be leaner and better in whatever we are doing.
Right. Let's hope for this. Thank you very much for joining. Thanks. Okay.